Hey guys, this is Beyond with Extendly for High Level, and I am being joined by Chase Buckner from High Level today. Chase, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well. Chase, wanted to get together with you and have a conversation around some of the quick wins that you guys have mentioned related to High Level that agencies and businesses can utilize to help their customers and get started with High Level quickly, and not really, dive into the overwhelm of the just because how massive the platform is. Without learning, it can get a little bit overwhelming, but you guys have actually put together a really good set of features that are very, very powerful to get started with. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. It's actually been a big initiative that my team has been working on for a while now. And it's actually our new onboarding flow, essentially. So when new people sign up, they book a call with a team that will walk you through these quick wins. And we do that because oftentimes, somebody hears that HighLevel can do something which brings them over, and then they get in. And like you said, you can do so many things. It can also often be kind of paralyzing. Like, well, I don't even know where to start. I heard that I can do this crazy thing in here, but I have no idea what I'm even looking at this point. And what we have found over the years is that there are a handful of things that are really easy to set up, that are automated, that often are, well, not often, always hundreds of dollars worth of value in the market that will cement a client, right? And so it's kind of one of these things where it's like you come in, who knows why you came to High Level, but we want to make you aware that if you just do these 7, 10 things, you could charge a business $500 a month and they'll pay it because the market has already proven that they will. And it's often very eye-opening. Like, oh my gosh, a lot of people come in and they were thinking that they wanted to build an agency that was going to be running ads for people and doing SEO and building funnels and all this kind of stuff. And they take a step back and they're like, wait a minute, why go through all that pain and process if I could just install 10 automated features, collect $500 a month, and then move on?
Right.
It becomes very eye-opening. And so we're sort of like, look, build the bigger agency, of course, like definitely, but start with these things first because they're faster, they're easier, they're sticky, and they're already proven. And we're calling those the quick wins, the quick win playbook. And if you want to kind of walk through them, I'd be happy to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. If you like to do that and share those with everyone, let's go ahead and go through those. And to the note that you've mentioned, I want to say you're actually absolutely right, because that's sort of the advice we give on our side whenever someone reaches out to us about, hey, how do I get started with High Level? Where do I get started? What sort of plans should I put together? What kind of offer should I put together for my customers? And my general go-to is that, hey, if you started with the most basic tier of High Level in your SaaS configurator, there's some locked features, right? And obviously you guys did that purposely. But if you started just with those, right, that's your web chat, your missed call text back, your GMB integration, conversations, and reputation, right? If you started with just those, the customers will experience very little overwhelm and a high output usage out of those features. So
That's exactly right. And that those features are largely what this new playbook is, sort of put in an order that after a lot of time and thought makes the most sense. And to me, and it was my project, and that's why they're in this order. But I think it makes sense, and hopefully it will to you as well. We actually, so it now lives in the course that everybody should have access to. If you have High Level, if you go to university, you should see it. But you could also just go straight to the videos by going to gohighlevel.com/quick wins as one word, and it'll take you to this new channel in our YouTube account. And these are the wins. So essentially, the first one is just SMS, right? And so just giving basically buying a phone number in HighLevel, right? Just doing that is giving a business the power of SMS. And that may sound simple, but it's actually massive, right? Because if you look at the stats, the average open rate of an email, right? If you get 20% open rate on an email, you're happy as a marketer. The open rate on a text message is like 98% or something, right? Like when we get a text message, we look at it, we open it. And so if you empower a business to be able to communicate with prospects and customers via SMS, you can drastically shift the conversion rate of things because these messages are going to get seen. So quick win number one is just getting a number set up, getting it on their website, letting them know that, hey, people can text this number. And then this correlates or ties to the chat widget, right? Because the HighLevel chat widget is just an easy way for a website visitor to initiate the SMS conversation. And so the phone number and the web chat widget are two of the quickest, easiest wins that you can deliver. And just that, if you just did that, you could charge somebody $100, $200 a month. And then the next one, which kind of piggybacks off of this, is the missed call text back. So when you create a number, we automatically turn this on, which means if a call comes into this number and it doesn't get answered, the system just automates back an SMS to the caller that says, sorry, missed your call. How can we help? And so again, it sounds simple, right? But when we look at the stats, 62% of calls that go to small businesses every day don't get answered for a million different reasons. But if you think about how much of that business gets saved because a text message comes right back, right? Hey, I'm Googling something. I'm calling the first result. They didn't answer. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start calling the next one, right? But what if as I'm looking up the next one's number or whatever, I get a text, sorry, Mr. Call, how can we help? I'm thrilled, right? Because now I can communicate with the first business via text message and the lead has been saved. Yeah. So this oftentimes, just these three things, getting the number, getting the web chat widget on there, and getting the missed call text back activated becomes so powerful because nowadays, if you talk to a business about their phone situation, it's a mess, right? There's so much spam calls happening that if you actually look at what's going on inside of a business, front desk person dealing with people walking in the door, missing phone calls, answering calls that are spam, missing a real lead trying to call in at the same time, taking out the trash, picking up lunch, all this kind of stuff that accumulates to all this missed business. Where now, as with HighLevel, they're kind of just looking at a stream of conversations that are text message based, which means you can quickly scan and see if it was real or not. And you can communicate with people asynchronously, which is what everyone wants to do in this day and age. So those three things, super, super powerful. You could charge, I would say, $100 to $200 a month for that right there easily.
And missed call is extremely important. Some businesses. So I own a company called Ovis, and it's a security camera company, and they actually. So we use this as well. So some businesses, service businesses, especially, use answering services as well after hours, right? After hours, when a call gets missed, it gets transferred to an answering service. Well, what is an answering service doing? Most of them are sending you a text message back saying, here's the message we took down from so-and-so. This is what they said, and you can reach out to them, right? And some answering services will have, an additional service where they can actually patch a call through as well. But if you have a missed call text back in place, and I'll tell you a little bit surprising fact about this right after this, but if you have that in place, you can avoid having to need an answering service, or at the very least, do sort of the same thing that an answering service would do as well. The fact that I was going to tell you is, so at Ovis, we have an answering service in place, and our answering service bill on a monthly basis is somewhere around $1,000 per month. And ever since, or used to be at least, ever since we've had HighLevel in place, and we have, after the call comes in, a text back to the customers, we've seen that bill get cut in less than half. We're at like $250 a month or something like that, just by having that one piece in place.
It's amazing. And we'll talk about that when we get to another win and how it ties to it. But honestly, me personally, right? If I were to start a business today, let's say I went and started a pizza shop, or I started whatever I start, I don't want to be answering phone calls. To me, phone calls are super inefficient for the business, right? Because I have to drop what I'm doing to answer the phone. Whereas I honestly would just take the timeout down to 1 second or whatever, force every incoming call into a voicemail that just gets a text right back, right? You'd get a voicemail that would be like, whatever, hey, we actually don't answer phone calls, but we're going to text you back in a second, right? And so that's how I would run my business, because now I'm running it asynchronously on my time. They can communicate with me on their time, and we avoid phone calls altogether. That's just me, but that's totally possible with HighLevel, and we're seeing more and more businesses want to function that way. Because it actually is advantageous for the business. So then let's see, the next quick win is the HighLevel mobile app. And this is kind of a surprising one to a lot of people. One, hopefully everybody knows HighLevel has a mobile app, but two, it's actually called Lead Connector, which is the gray label of HighLevel, right? We don't, our customers white label HighLevel, resell it as their own brand. And so we don't want people to have to tell their customers to go download the HighLevel mobile app, so that people are like, what's that? You can just say, download this app called Lead Connector. It's going to connect you to your account with us or whatever. And you could also pay extra to have a branded mobile app made if you want to. But the point is, statistically, this is the probably the top thing that you can do if you want to succeed with HighLevel. And I'm just looking up the stat right here because I forget it off the top of my head. Okay. So from Pendo, which is an analytics platform that measures all the usage across every HighLevel account in existence, clients who download the mobile app, so high levelers who get their customers to download the mobile app, use the app 90% more than accounts that don't have the mobile app downloaded. So we know that usage equates to stickiness, right? The more you use HighLevel, the more you're going to love it and be addicted to it. And so it makes sense, right? If we can increase the usage by 90% with one thing, which is download the mobile app and log in, we can then increase the stickiness of our clients. And then additionally, sub accounts who have the mobile app downloaded statistically get 61% more contacts into the sub account. So think about that. Why is that? Well, it's because you've enabled the business to enter leads and prospects and customers into the CRM mobily, right? Which makes total sense. So it's this kind of shocking quick win where it's like, if you just get your clients to download and log into the mobile app, statistically, you're going to have a way better shot that they're going to stick around as a paying customer for a longer time.
Yeah. Plus, every time you get a message notification, you see the message that have come in, whether it's through the web chat or the or your GMB or a text message, and then they can quickly open it up and respond to it. So they're engaging more with it.
Your pocket buzzes. You're going to engage more. You're going to engage faster. It all adds up. Exactly.
Yeah.
So the next one is Facebook and Instagram, and this one is just pure consolidation, right? We connect the Facebook page, we connect Instagram, and now Facebook messages and Instagram DMs are flowing into the same conversation stream in HighLevel with the SMS messages and with email. And so, again, there are apps in the marketplace that charge, I don't know, $40 a month to just do this, right? To consolidate communication channels into one place. And again, this flows into the mobile app. So as Behat just pointed out, right? Every time a Facebook message or an Instagram DM or an email or an SMS happens, your pocket buzzes, pull out your phone, and now you're engaging. And in my personal experience, if you go into a client's Instagram, you're going to see DMs from days, weeks, months ago that just never got answered, right? Because for whatever reason, the client didn't get to it. And so by just consolidating this stuff, you're driving more communication, more interaction, leads to more stickiness, more success. So that one's super easy. Hey, client, click here, click integrate, click accept, done, right? And then you do the same thing with Instagram and you're good to go.
Yeah, and they don't have to worry about having multiple different accounts to log into, monitor all the time. They're logging into one mobile app and they can see everything there.
That's right. The next one you mentioned is Google Business Chat. And this one is sort of like a secret weapon because nobody knows it exists, right? Most businesses don't know that if you go into your business Google business profile, you can activate Google Chat. When you do that, anytime your business shows up in a mobile search result or in the Google Maps app, there's a new icon next to like website, call, whatever, that says chat. And you can send a chat to the business. Problem is, businesses don't know that it exists, how to turn it on, or where to go to reply to these chats. And so when you integrate the Google Business Profile with HighLevel, we activate the chat automatically and we pull those chats into the same conversation stream that we're talking about. And what's great about this one statistically is the average business gets over 1,000 visits a month to their Google Business Profile. So if we know that people nowadays prefer to chat, imagine the amount of that traffic that sees the business profile and does not call because they don't want to have to call, and scrolls on, right? If I see 3 Google business results in the pack and, one of them has chat, I'm going to click the chat button and message that business over the other 2, right? And so this is a super easy win, super powerful. All you have to do is, again, instruct the client to click the button, accept, connect, and boom, Google Business Chats are now activated and flowing into HighLevel.
And it makes it easier to communicate for the customer, and which means, the likelihood that they choose you to talk to increases because that you're making it easier and more convenient for them to communicate with your business.
100%. And another little piece of wizardry that happens when you make the Google Business Chat integration is that when you set up the phone number, you set a forwarding number, right? So if somebody calls this new number, it redirects to the business's real phone number so that they answer. If that redirect number matches the number that's in the Google Business Profile, we actually automatically shift the real number to the secondary slot. Google Business Profiles give you 2 phone number slots. And then we insert the new number in the number 1 slot. So now what happens is that your Google Business Profile is showing the new HighLevel number, which means any calls to it that go unanswered automatically get a text back. These calls get recorded. And so now we've just increased the benefits that we've already talked about on the Google side, where we know so much traffic is going to for small businesses. So again, hopefully you can see how these things kind of compound. And again, nothing we've talked about so far requires hiring extra people, you know what I mean? Increased salaries, monitoring stuff every month. Like, you set this stuff up once and it runs itself.
Yeah, I believe these features require the least amount of tech support from anyone. They don't even need to go hire, another person to provide tech support. You onboard them once, you set them up, you check in with them a couple of times to make sure they're doing okay and they're actually using the platform. They're not running into any troubles. There's literally zero support required because they can run their business off of their mobile app. They don't even
they can hire you guys, right? Like, you guys will offer white labeled support for the questions that come in related to these things, right? Absolutely. And do you guys even offer paid onboardings? Will you onboard people?
Yeah, we do white label onboardings as well for people. So if they want, they don't have to do it themselves. They can hire us to do that. And we'll onboard them. We'll provide the tech support ongoing for them as well. That way, in case their customer runs into an issue, they can actually contact us and we'll help them out. But the point being that it requires the least amount of support, which means the least amount of churn, because there's not overwhelm, there's not confusion, there's not, hey, I don't like this feature, it didn't work for me, it's too much. Any of that is not there. And as you guys have done a study on this, the 3-month stick point, and then people are more likely to stay after that. So as you go towards the 3 months and they're on this plan, the lower tier plan, right? They're liking the software, they're using it on a regular basis. they're going to automatically start depending on it. Their business is going to start depending on it, and they're going to be using it on a regular day-to-day basis. So that's when, if you want to help them upgrade, they may even come back to you and start asking you, hey, what else can I do with this? What more can you help me with this? And you can use your maybe email nurture sequences on your side to introduce them to newer features, get them to upgrade them to a higher tier plan, after 3 or 4 months have gone by. That way, they're more likely to invest more time in it and take the time to actually understand the platform and learn it for themselves and how they can apply it to their business, rather doing it right in the beginning, because it's so brand new. They're going to get overwhelmed, and they'll likely churn much faster than they would otherwise.
And that's the key, right? Because if we think about everything that we've talked about right now, once it's set up, the end user doesn't have to learn anything. All they have to do is answer things when their pocket buzzes, right? Because everything that we just talked about, what does it do? It generates conversations in one conversation stream. So what do you have to teach your client to do? Nothing. Hey, when your pocket buzzes, click the notification and to talk to the person, right? That's it. And so the next win is in the same vein. Sorry, go ahead. I cut you off.
I was just going to say, and how many people don't know how to use SMSs to respond back to people, right?
Right.
That's all you're doing. Sorry, go ahead.
No, exactly. And then the next win is great because it's already set up, right? The next one is reputation management. When you connected the Facebook page and when you connected the Google business profile, we automatically start pulling in the reviews from Facebook and Google. And so if we look at, again, statistics, we see that 94% of consumers say that positive reviews makes them more likely to use a business. And 89% of consumers say that they're likely to choose a business that responds to the reviews. So what do we know? We need to be generating more positive reviews, and we need to be replying to those reviews. The average business is doing neither of those things. So how do we fix it? Well, in HighLevel, in the mobile app, there's a quick action that says send a review request. So now your customers can just click on a contact, right? My phone buzzed. They asked a question. I answered it. They became a customer. I click another button. It sends them a review request. It says, hey, whatever you program it to say, your feedback means the world to us. Would you take 2 seconds to leave us a review? Here's the link. And boom, now your customers can easily generate reviews with a click of a button. And then when the review happens, we pull the review into the same conversation stream so that your client is aware the review happens and they can reply to it right there. So boom, now we're generating more reviews and we're generating more replies. And statistically, those things are drastically going to generate more customers and influence people to become customers because they see that you interact with your reviews, which incentivizes them to leave a review because they know it's going to get interacted with. So reputation management, another quick and easy win, right?
Absolutely. And Google loves the extra reviews, the new content, the replies to the reviews, right? So your SEO is bound to improve because of that as well. And you'll rank higher and higher until you reach the top 3 the lead pack.
It's actually one of the quickest and easiest ways to manipulate search rankings, right? If you generate a flood of positive reviews in a short period of time, you will see your ranking jump up. It might not stay there if you stop getting reviews, but you can definitely push a business up in the rankings very quickly by generating them positive reviews frequently. And so it's a quick and easy win. You didn't even have to do anything because it already, you connected the things and now it's happening. And so it doesn't get quicker and easier than that. The next quick win is automated FAQs. So we kind of talked about this one, which is when you mentioned like after hours call centers and what do they actually do? Well, with HighLevel, we can quickly and easily use a workflow recipe and just customize it to say, hey, if a message comes in meaning it came in from the SMS, it came in from Instagram DM, Facebook Messenger, and it contains this word or phrase, let's say gluten-free. Just automate a response that says, we absolutely have a gluten-free menu. Here's the link to check out our gluten-free offerings, right? And so imagine, we talked about this before, how many times a day a restaurant gets asked about gluten-free, right? You have a pizza business, right? I'm sure you get asked all the time, do you guys have gluten-free pizza?
Yeah, absolutely. And well, during the holidays, it was, hey, are you guys open? Are you guys open? So we did something like that where the auto response would go out and let them know that, hey, we're open this hour to that hour. And we actually went a step further, in the phone section, there's a whisper message you can put in. So when someone's calling the number on our Google business profile, which is a phone number connected to our HighLevel account, they call that number. The first thing it says is, thank you for calling XYZ Pizza. Our business hours are this time to that time, even during the holidays. And then it connects you, right? So now that drops a lot of those unnecessary calls where all they wanted to do is just ask if you're open or not.
That's awesome. I love it. So yeah, with these FAQ bots, as I like to call them, we can program them for all the FAQs that a business may have. And now we're saving a business a ton of time because they're not constantly answering the same questions over and over again. It's happening for them. So imagine the delight that they see when their phone buzzes and they click and they get to the conversation and they see that the question's already been answered, right? That's absolutely fantastic. And so it's another quick and easy win that you can set up. And when you start working within the same industry, you already know what those questions are, right? So imagine during the sales process, the onboarding, I'm like, Bayant, we work with thousands of pizza places across the country. We know you guys get asked every day about gluten-free, right? You probably get asked about vegetarian. You probably get asked this, that, the other thing. Just send us your answers to those questions and we'll actually automate the replies to those for any messages that come in. What? That's awesome. It is awesome. It was quick and easy and it's automated. So that's a big win there. Next win is the web chat widget. We already talked about that. The next quick and easy win is a new one because it's actually a recently added feature, which are I'm calling call to action forms. So HighLevel forms until recently could be embedded on another website, but it had to be an inline embed, right? So if I had a WordPress website, I can embed a HighLevel form into the page, but now you can embed them as pop-ups. And so every business, this should have a call to action form on the site, right? Like, if you haven't learned this yet, take this nugget and run with it. Every business, when you hit the website, the goal should not actually be, hey, buy something right now. It should be, hey, join our database. Give us your details, because if you have the details, you can use a tool like HighLevel to sell to that person over and over and over again, right? And Absolutely. So every site should have some form incentivizing you to give your data to them in exchange for something cool, right? In Bayant's case, it might be your first slice is on the house. Join our pizza lovers family. Come in, your first slice is on the house, and now I can market to you over and over and over again. So with HighLevel pop-up forms, I can now make that happen for any website without actually having to redesign the site. And that is a major challenge that businesses hate, right? Bayant, super excited to work with you. Your website is not optimized for conversion. So we're going to need to redo that thing. And you're going, oh my gosh, that's thousands of dollars. Here it comes. No, thank you. Now you can just say, Bayant, your website's lacking a call to action. Don't worry, we're going to drop a pop-up form on there. It's going to pop up as soon as someone gets to the site. We're going to start building that database for you so that we can start reactivating people month after month, week after week, whatever it is.
And that's
super
huge.
Easy, super powerful, right? Absolutely. And now, Shopify, right? Every e-com website you go to, what do you see the first thing? Claim 10% off your first order, claim free shipping off your first order, whatever it is. And Shopify sites have to pay for that, right? Every Shopify site pays for every app that they add. It's not like WordPress. And so you can now be the provider of that pop-up. Call to action forms, another quick and easy win. And then the number 10 is Linktree pages, right? I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Social media profiles, they give you one link. Most people link it to their homepage. Most homepages are not optimized for conversion, like we just talked about, or mobile. So it's not really doing anybody any favors to send somebody to their homepage from their social profile. So what is a Linktree? A Linktree, link in bio. There's a bunch of companies that do this. They're essentially just mobile optimized landing pages that are typically a bunch of buttons. And so with HighLevel, we can design these in 2 seconds, turn them into a template. We actually have, I don't know if you've seen these. Did I show you these before in the new template library?
Maybe not. Let's take a look. I might have, but let's take a look anyway.
Let's see. All right, so let's jump into an account where I'm not going to blow anything up. And if we go to sites and we go websites and we click add new, we go into the library. If we type link, we should see, check these out. Okay, so let's preview this one. So here's a great Linktree style page for a bakery, right? So imagine I'm on their Facebook or their Instagram profile. I click the link and this is what I see, right? I can go to the website if I want to. I might want to know where they are. So I could open up Google Maps. I could go to their blog. We can put whatever we want in here, including a call to action pop-up form, including a chat widget, right? And so now what we're doing with these is turning our social profiles into lead generation machines. It's no longer just a wasted link. Yes, we can split it into a bunch of paths, but more importantly, we can start generating leads, capturing data right off of our social profiles. And again, quick and easy, right? We're giving you the template, change the image and the colors, and all you need to know how to set it up on a subdomain and you're good to go. So that is win number 10. And then the bonus win is the Fast 5 Lite. So we have a workflow automation called the Fast 5. It's kind of robust. It has some actions for pipelines and whatnot in there. So we just made a new one called the Lite, which essentially just, I'll share my screen again. Actually, why don't we just check it out? If we go to automation. And
it's in part of the recipes.
Yeah. So it's a new recipe. If we click create new and we scroll down, we should see Fast 5 Lite.
And if in case those of you guys know about HighLevel and you're wondering where this is when you go into automation's workflow section, you press create new workflow, the recipes you see there, that's what Chase just pulled up.
Mm-hmm. So this one's pre-configured to trigger off of a Facebook lead ad form. But obviously you can trigger it off whatever you want. As soon as the lead comes in, we're sending an email, we're sending a conversational SMS, because we know that if we can get a lead to reply within the first 5 minutes, our odds of closing that lead skyrocket. So we're not going for the kill. We're saying, thanks for claiming our offer or whatever. Have you experienced a service before? Or whatever your question is to get them to reply, right?
Right.
And then we are waiting 2 minutes, or if they reply, and then they move forward and we check, did they move forward because they replied? If so, was the reply positive or negative? And then we can automate responses back. If they didn't reply, we do our call connect. If you're not familiar with this feature, it's very powerful. We will actually call the client, right? So let's say Bayant is the agency. He works with dentists. He's running a free teeth whitening campaign. Somebody claims it. They didn't reply to the SMS in 2 minutes. So now we call the dentist office. And when somebody answers, we play whatever is here in this whisper box. So I'm at Dr. Bob's Dentistry. I answer the phone and I hear, hey, Bayant's awesome lead gen agency just generated another free teeth whitening lead. The lead's name is Chase Buckner. Press any key to connect with Chase. If they push a button on their phone, we then call the lead. And if the lead answers, we bridge the call. So we are trying to put your clients on the phone with their leads 2 minutes after the lead was generated, if they haven't already replied to an SMS message. Super powerful. If that doesn't work, we send a ringless voicemail, and then we can continue the nurture from there, right? So the goal of this is to just ensure that every lead is getting an email, an SMS. We're trying to call them. They're getting a voicemail all within the first 5 minutes, which drastically changes the game. As opposed to if you're generating leads and just sending an email to your client saying, hey, you have a new lead, here's their name, email, phone number. If you are just doing that, I'm telling you, you're in a bad position, because clients don't know what to do with leads. If you install the Fast 5 Lite, you're going to drastically see an increase in conversion. And so that, probably add a few more in here, like bonus wins, like text to pay and things like that. But if you start here with these 10 things, right? I mean, you could pay Bayon's team to get that stuff set up in a half an hour for you, for each of your clients. And then once it's set up, it's running itself. And like I said, you've got a $500 a month package right here that is going to run itself. You're just going to collect $500 every month. Your client's going to be thrilled. And so, this is, in my mind, the quickest and easiest way to success with HighLevel.
Absolutely. And I think you pointed out a lot of good stuff here. And like you mentioned in the beginning, you can offer things like just a missed call text back, or the web chat, right? Or the SMS conversations, and still charge $100, $200, $300 for just those pieces. Or you can go a little further, add on these additional features as well, make it a little bit more robust, and you're still not even scratching the surface of what all things HighLevel can do for your customer, but you're providing so much value to them, and without overwhelming them, they are going to become a stickier customer with you. And now you can obviously upcharge for those additional package offers, or included in a lower tier package, however you want to position yourself on that manner. But there's a host of opportunities here to play with.
Think about, okay, let me show you something that's mind-blowing. We talked about how you can easily build Linktree pages, right? And we have a template there that you can start with. And as you know, Bayon, if I take that template and I customize it, because I work with dentists, right? And I make it look like a dentist page, I could save it as a snapshot. And now it's waiting there every time I get a new client. Well, again, Linktree, and there are a bunch of these companies. How much is Linktree worth? $1.3 billion. And that's all that they do, is give you the mobile page, right? They just got an investment in 2022 of $55.7 million, because investors feel that it's that valuable to have a mobile optimized page for your social profiles. And so I think Linktree, when you have the features, like if we compared it to what you can build in HighLevel, is like $20 or $30 or $40 a month, right? So right there, you've got, let's say, $30 worth of value that people are paying for in the market already, that you can now replace, right? And when you stack up all the other stuff we talked about, it becomes hundreds of dollars in automated value. And so, that's why I love hanging out with you, Bayon. I love what you guys do, because you really enable people to just say, hey, I'm going to charge a setup fee so that I can afford to pay Bayon's team to get them set up. And I'm going to pay them to white label support my clients. And now all I do is focus on getting more customers, right? I can just go out and focus on selling my solution to businesses who I know need it, because it's already proven in the market. And I don't have to worry about any of the back end stuff. So I think hopefully you like these quick wins, and you guys can align and maybe create a setup package for the quick win playbook, and we'll all be in business here.
Yeah. No, these were amazing. We've already sort of geared towards that, as our recommendation has been towards that as well. And you enlightened us with a few more today, so thank you for that. And it all goes to ensuring your customer actually gets use out of the product or the service that you're providing. And if they're getting the use out of it, they are not going anywhere. Those businesses are not going anywhere. We'll do another call, Chase, and I'll share with you a personal testimonial from an experience we had at our restaurants, the pizza shops, where just using some of those features that we went over today. We bought them in November 2021, and I looked at our sales in November 2022, and we've literally doubled our sales from the time we purchased them. And it didn't happen to just one restaurant or two restaurants. It happened to all six of them. And the key sauce in there was we installed HighLevel in every single one of them and replaced our Google My Business profile number with a HighLevel generated number. And where before all the phone calls we got, there was no database. They weren't going into any place except for when someone actually placed an order, right? Then they were going into the POS system itself, which was clunky and hard to get out of. And maybe you can send out an email, but there was no text messaging option there, and there was no all of this like missed call text back and SMS ability to customers. And coming in to HighLevel, every single call that was made, whether they sent a text or not, but every call that was made created a contact in HighLevel. And now we had ability to do something with that, and it created a large database. So it really helped by us sending out additional promotional or discounted offers to them over time, where we brought back a lot of customers, and that's how we saw the sales increase across all six locations.
I love it. And I think something I'm going to start talking a lot about is, and I think we illustrated it before, right? Like, I think that's the first time I've said it on a setting like this, but I 100% agree that the goal of a website visitor isn't to convert them once right then and there. It's to get their data. And yes, because to me, that's more valuable. And so imagine, I think if I'm an agency, and I think everybody helping businesses should understand this mentality of, you need a standing first time customer offer. And that's the offer that gets somebody to join your database. And the better you can get at coming up with a creative name for your database and the offer, the more people are going to join it. And so imagine, like Ban just illustrated, if you're using a HighLevel number, now every call creates a contact, and I can automate back a text to every call. Maybe it just says, hey, did you know we have a pizza lovers club? Are you a pizza lover? Every month we send out some sort of, promotion or swag or whatever around pizza. Do you want to join? Just reply yes or no, right? And so if they reply no, maybe you don't text them anymore. But if they reply yes, then they're in. And now, you're going to text them every month with some fun thing that's going to generate sales every month. And that's why the way that I think about marketing is, my job is to build your database and give you the ability to generate sales with a push of a button. If I can build you a list of thousands of people that want to receive a text message from you, all you have to do is write the text message and hit send, and I guarantee you're going to generate sales, right? I mean, to me, it's as easy as that. Absolutely.
I agree. The more people you have in your database, the higher sales you can generate, because not everyone buys from you, depending on the product or service. Not everyone buys from you the very first time they see you. They may see you, they may be interested, but they're like, okay, let's think about it, yada, 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 whatever the case may be. And now your job becomes to continue to remind them that you exist and this is what you do. This is your product, your service, why they should choose you. And as long as you're educating your customer, your potential customer, on the product, service, and why, the chances increase dramatically that they would actually do business with you.
I'm so obsessed with this that I've been starting to think about it more and more, and common rebuttals and stuff, right? Like, you may be watching and thinking, well, I work with plumbers, I work with roofers. Why would anyone want to get a text message from a roofer every month, right? I guarantee you that if you get creative, let's say I worked with roofers, what about this? Hey, whatever, we love a good dad joke over here at Joe's Roofing. Every month, we actually send one out. You want us to text you a dad joke every month?
Yeah.
Right? I love a good dad joke. I would be like, what? This is hilarious. Sure. Right? And then every month I laugh at some dumb joke. But guess who I'm going to think of anytime anyone in my neighborhood mentions that their roof is leaking or whatever, right? I'm going to remember Joe, the roofer, because he texts me a funny joke every month. And that's just one example of things that you could do if you get creative. But man, if you can get a list of people who want to be texted by you, you can just print money on demand.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can do several things with with things of that nature. In one of our snapshots that relates to dentists, we have a tooth tip of the week. It sends out how to have a healthier oral hygiene from the dentist office. And the purpose of sending something like that, or the joke, is that you would have your company's name in the beginning of it or at the ending of it, right? So you would say, XYZ tip from XYZ company, and the purpose is you don't really care that much more about the actual content that might be in there. Of course, you want it to be useful so they continue to receive it and use it. But more importantly, that the company name is the branding that you're doing. You're burning that in their mind constantly and that's when every get together, every time someone asks related question, you're not going to say, hey, just Google it. You're going to know exactly who to recommend.
What if you're a restaurant and you say, hey, every month you want us to send you, do you like food porn? Every month, we'll send you the most delicious looking dish you've ever seen with the recipe. That sounds amazing, right? Because it's like, oh, yes, now I'm going to have new things to make. Have you ever tried to make a restaurant's recipe? It does not come out like it does at the restaurant. So what do? You go to the restaurant to order the thing because you failed at making it, right? What a beautiful way to create a club where you could drive business into a restaurant every month. Because people want to receive your content. So I love it. I think every business can do it if they get creative with it. And once you figure out something that works for one customer in your niche, it'll work for all of your customers in your niche. And now you have this really unique system to go sell somebody. If you want to go above and beyond the quick and easy stuff that we just talked about and go from $500 a month to $1,500 a month or $2,500 a month, in your overall sort of package.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can get as customized as possible, as much as you want. The more value you're adding, the more automation you're adding to the business, obviously the higher you're going to charge, right? I would encourage people to take a look at yourself, your white label brand of HighLevel, as sort of like Salesforce for the small businesses, right? Small businesses can't afford Salesforce. It costs way too much, and the implementation cost is way too high, right? So you're exactly that for the local businesses, the small businesses, and you can solve that problem for much less cost that Salesforce would charge. And be at an equivalently high level and be able to automate all of that for them as well, so that they can earn more business overall, and your business owner is going to love you.
I got one more before I have to run.
All right.
Let's every e-commerce shop, right? Every Shopify store has inventory that's just been sitting around, right? last year's model of some t-shirt that's size triple XL and extra small. Blow it out, right? Why not start a text club that says every month we will send you a text message to a product that is 50% off, 60% off, 70% off, whatever you want to do. But yeah, wait, so that, and it's first come, first serve, right? So every month I know, or every week, why not? I'm going to get a text. If I click it and I want it, there's only going to be a couple of them left, but you're just blowing out inventory that's been sitting around for a year, 2 years, whatever. I think it's genius.
Absolutely.
I think and you could just create that as a $500 a month offering and go sell it to every e-com site across the world, right? So again, hopefully this is getting people's gears turning. Hopefully you're seeing the value of what seems like simple features to a business when you position it correctly and you understand the actual value behind it.
Absolutely. Chase, thank you very much for sharing all of the value, all the quick wins you just shared with us. And hopefully everyone gets a good education lesson out of this to use it for their customers and help the business owners that they're working with. It's always
my pleasure. And thank you, as always, for all the support that you guys provide the HighLevel community. So keep up the great work.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, guys, take care. We'll see you on the next one.